So some of the photography tips for a morning like this where we get out to see the early light. If you're not working on a tripod, you want to elevate your ISO. 400 would be the minimum, but you might want to come up to 800 ISO. That way you can get sharp images in the low light. You also want to shoot wide open. 5.6, f8. You'll get a little bit of depth of field, but that will work to sharpen your images with a faster shutter speed. Ideally, you'd want to be working on a tripod so you can steady your camera. When you're working on a tripod, you want to turn your image stabilization off. Your image stabilization would fight against you on the tripod. You're also dealing with contrast. You have the white breast of the penguins coming out of the surf is dark, or the water behind it is dark. You want to darken down. You want to slightly underexpose, maybe 1/3 of a stop, maybe 2/3 of a stop, maybe as much as 1 stop. We set our camera on highlight warning so that when we do blow out the feathers, we get the blinking effect. So look for the blinkies and then darken down to where you don't have the blinkies. Shooting into the sun also for the backlit scene is also very difficult. It's also when you need to underexpose slightly, again darkening down. And we had that effect of the sunburst right when the sun was coming over the mountains. And that's a situation where you want to stop down your lens, f11, f16, or f22 to give you that starburst effect right when the sun is right coming up over the horizon. So you're dealing with the contrast, you're dealing with the low light. The other thing you may want to try is motion blur as the penguins come out of the surf. So that would be using a slower shutter speed, maybe a 15th or even a 30th of a second. You also might want to go to shutter priority in that situation so you can lock the camera in at a 15th or a 30th of a second. But once it gets bright enough, you won't be able to get that slowest shutter speed, so then you go back to shooting sharp images. The other things to look for are the mountain backdrops. When we were down low along the shoreline, there were penguins coming over the crest of the beach with the mountains in the background. So that's a situation to zoom in on the penguins and use that beautiful mountain backdrop. So we're gonna go take a walk and see what we can find with thousands of penguins in every direction. King penguins, mountain backdrops, snow-clad mountains. It doesn't get any better than this.